Next to the last stop in the Castrol GTX Cup Series, stop number 35, brings us to Pensacola, Florida, and Flags Speedway. It's the running of the Visit Pensacola Snowball 500, and with next to last stop on the tour, so it'll be interesting the race here to watch as the points battle heats up heading into this race. And on the pole for this event at a race is the number 14 Copenhagen Toyota of Austin Mongold. His first, I think his second pole of the season, I'm not sure. He'll start alongside Kyle Matthews, number 42 Melly Yellow Chevrolet. Road 2 has Dylan Poteet, the number 31 Mom and Pop's Goodwrench Chevrolet. He'll start alongside Pichu Linda, number 22 Maxwell House Ford. Championship leader Jessica Shelton has the inside of row number 3 in the number 9 Mel Gear Ford. She'll start alongside Kyle Austin, number 88 Ford Quality Care Ford Fusion. Then it's Stephanie Gardner in the 26 Quaker State Chevrolet, and she'll start inside the number 3 GM Goodwrench Chevrolet of Trevor Reinhardt, the Brickyard 400 winner. Joshua Osborne starts inside row number 5, the Excite Barriers Ford Fusion. He'll start alongside the number 28 Texaco Haviland Ford of Keith Batson. Osborne, by the way, was winner at Martinsville. Dylan Young, the number 2 Miller Genuine Draft Ford, is the inside of the 6th row, and beside him, the Pepsi 400 winner and Watkins Glen winner Joshua Collard starts alongside in the STP Dodge. And here comes the command to fire him up here at Flags Speedway.
Drivers, start your engines!
Yep, that's kind of a unique way to start to get the race going. Got kind of an Arnold Schwarzenegger accent, if you don't know what I mean. But anyway, so get set to go racing here. It's the shortest track on the circuit. This is really actually the shortest track on the circuit. It's an even half mile. It's home to the Snowball Derby, a late model stock race that is held every December. As the field rounds to number 4, the green flag race, we're underway here at Pensacola. Kyle Matthews way up the racetrack as they come out of turn number 2, as Austin Mongold takes the number 1 spot. Poteet and, whoa, he and Pichu got close there. Pichu's off the walls. They come out of turn number 4. And now in a battle with Jessica Shelton in the 9. And now here comes Poteet on the inside of Kyle Matthews for position, as Pichu still keeps it off the wall, and yellow flags out. It's Zach Flickinger that's crashed. Oh, and Zed Weinstein, 70, has crashed. A horrible season for the two-time champion of series, season 13. And Flickinger got into a Charles Sanford in 24. Let's see what happened here. Flickinger was in 66. I think he got a hit from... He hits Tony Green and then gets bulldozed by the 27 of Quentin Moore. And then Charles Sanford somehow gets into it himself in the 24 car. And Flickinger... He's about got his car going again, and Sanford turns him around one more time. While Flickinger was trying to get his car to start back up, but... Unfortunately, that was not to be... happened. And then this crash happened that got Zed Weinstein in a crash. It was he and Jesse Dalton, and it looked like that. Yeah, there's where those two got together. It was Cody Lamas in the 15. He turns the Gene Sanford into Jesse Dalton, and then Dalton goes up the track, almost hits the other Dalton Day, and then Jesse Dalton lands on top of Lamas, and then there's where Zed Weinstein got into the crash himself. And then I thought I saw... there's where Charles Sanford, he's made it through that barely. But everybody else seemed to not crash, so that means we're all clear as Cody Lamas hits down pit road for an unscheduled pit stop. Pace cars lights are off, so we're going to set for green flag racing here. It'll be on lap number 8. when it happens. Austin Mongol leads. Second is Kyle Matthews. Third, Dylan Poteet. Fourth is Pichu London. Fifth, Jessica Shelton. Sixth is Stephanie Gardner. Seventh is Kyle Austin. Eighth is Joshua Osborne. Ninth, Dylan Young. 10th is Jesse Henry. As the green flag waves, we're back underway here at Pensacola. Once these guys get single file, it's almost, well, that's just about the time to say that, though. Here comes Kyle Matthews inside of Austin Mongol for position, and Matthews will take the lead. Or try to take the lead now. As Dylan Poteet tries to shove him in the 31 car. They come out of turn number 4, and Matthews led the lap. Kyle Matthews looking for a second win of the season. He's right up there in the points, so he comes in 5th in the standings coming in. And Poteet was I think also was in the top 10 in the points. But Poteet's now trying to make a move to the inside. He's the defending champ of this race, by the way, from last season. Poteet is. And Pichu London in the 22 car, he's having a fun time watching all this going on here. And same with Shelton in the 9. And speaking of which, Shelton bounces off the wall. And now she's sent up the track and losing several positions, obviously. Unfortunately for her, Shelton's had a rough last few races herself. And hoping this will be a track she can get back to her good, solid runs. And she needs one right now. She's got several drivers all over in the points. As she's now battling with the 99 of Joshua Osborne, the winner at the second race at Martinsville. And Shelton still cannot keep that car off the wall. Back to the leaders. It's still Kyle Matthews out in front. William Duncan having problems in a 7 car. He's slow a little bit. And Poteet bounces off the wall himself. So several cars having some wall banger problems here at Pensacola. As now Shelton finally gets back on the inside lane. Now following the Ada Mason Powers for 10th place. And Mike Becker creams the wall coming out of turn number 4. Marty Johnson, he's having a solid year so far. He won Darlington, the Southern 500. And he also took the title at the second Pocono event. So Marty having a solid run at 55 Copenhagen and Retro 84 Benny Parsons paint scheme. And right now battling with one of the best in Jessica Shelton. And in fact, he's got his bumper all over the back of that Ford. Seth Cole in 52, running in 12th position for Internet CRA Motorsports. Keith Batson right there behind in 28. And Mason Powers gets off the wall in an 8 car. Trey Campbell, 3-time winner of the season. Right behind him, Ryan Richards, the winner at Bristol, the first Bristol event, the day race. And Jonathan Zorlin, the winner of the first Michigan event. The Levi Garrett Chevrolet number 5. As Zorlin barely escapes a wall-bouncing Mason Powers now. So moves Zorlin up to the 16th position now. Joshua Collard, it's the 2-time winner of the season. He is... I believe might be back with that ride next season. I'm not sure. Season 15 kind of up in the air a little bit. Dalton Day, 20 car. Despite not winning a race this season, he's still having a solid season so far, to say the least, for Dalton Day in the Crown Petroleum number 20. And Shelton losing spots like crazy. So too is Pichu London. And spinner, it's Austin Mongol, number 14. Seth Cole is in the crash. Ryan Richards is in the crash. Joshua Collard. John Arndt's in the crash in the 21. Seth Cole smoking bad in that 52 car. All intents and purposes, I think his day is definitely over. Collard's damaged up a bit in the 43. And we saw also ahead of him there Ryan Richards in the 25. And we definitely know secret that Austin Mongold was the cause of the crash. He was running third when this happened too. And we also actually had a battle for the lead between Poteet and Matthews. Mongold bounced off the wall, gets hit by Kyle Austin in 88, and turns Mongold around. And who else gets in the crash? Jesse Henry just misses him, and there's Seth Cole. Bam! Into him. Ryan Richards, Jonathan Zorlin piles in there. Joshua Collar, John Arndt. All piles in the crash. Mason Powers might have been in a little bit as well. And Nick Pericles, I think he's not damaged up. Neither is Matt McIntyre or Sky Commons. There, Mike Becker and Trevor Reinhardt kind of got stopped as well. But in an effort to avoid the wreckage. Pace car sights are off. It's still Kyle Matthews out in front. He's leader of the race. Second is Dylan Poteet. Third now is Austin Mongold. I don't know how he got this spot back, really. I think he crossed the start-finish line when the yellow flag waved. Kyle Austin and Stephanie Gardner to top 5. And the cars are lapped down on the inside, led by Johnny Gardner in the 6. As the green waves, once again, we're back underway here at Pensacola. Matthews and Poteet battling. They're at it again. Here comes Poteet for the lead. Coming down for 20 laps to go here, or coming on 20 to go as we're past halfway home. Kyle Matthews won at Rockingham, the second race of the season. Poteet won the second Richmond event. Both from almost together in the country here. Matthews from Ohio, Poteet from Kentucky, and Poteet's off the wall, and caution flag waves. It's Jonathan Zorlin again, and oh, do we have some? Whoa! Mason Powers got shoved to the inside by Trent Dunham in the 1, and just about turn him around. Meantime, Jonathan Zorlin in the 5. Let's see who he had in the altercation with. He thought he was clear of the 30. Had Trey Campbell in the 30, and Trey turns him around, and Trey got sideswiped by Quentin Moore in 27. That's his second altercation Jonathan Zorlin's been in. He was running 14th, battling with Jessica Shelton for position. And now the 5 car is minus a hood on that Levi Garrett Chevrolet. So pace car sets are up again here to 42. Melliella Chevrolet, the retro Kyle Petty / Darlington 2015 Kyle Larson car of Kyle Matthews. Leads the race here. Dylan Poteet second, third Kyle Austin, fourth Jesse Henry, fifth Marty Johnson. Greenways again. We're back underway here at Pensacola. And this time Poteet not able to clear the lap car of Johnny Gardner. And Johnny, by the way, will be running that 6 car next season in season 15, as several outside cars slam the wall. Their late cars on the lead lap. Cody Lamas in the 15 coming out of pit road after an unscheduled pit stop. And oh, trouble again, who turns 1 and 2. And I think Jesse Dalton might have been in the crash. I'm not sure in the 11. Let's see who was in the crash here and coming out of turn 4. And Keith Batson bounced off Joshua Osborne and Jessica Shelton. And Batson, bam, gets hit by Stephanie Gardner and Mike Becker, and Trey Campbell gets into the crash as well. Jonathan Zorland, is he in another crash? Nick Pericles, he about flipped over Mike Becker. And that there, Trent Dunham gets stopped, I think just in time of that one car. But those Gen 6 cars, those track of Pensacola not being kind to those Gen 6 cars. Charles Sanford coming down pit road. We saw Joshua Collard in the pits as well. Nick Pericles is in the pits. Pace car ducks back off on the pit road as the green flag waves. We'll have 8 laps to go here at Pensacola. Can Kyle Matthews hold them all off for the restart? And we'll still be in Florida for the season finale at Homestead Miami Speedway. So we start off in Florida, and the last 2 races are held in Florida. So, oh, and Matthews off the wall, so is Poteet. And here comes the lap car of Johnny Gardner on the inside of the long-haired William Duncan, also not on the lead lap. Kyle Austin's actually running third there with Dougie Shears. He's also a lap down. Jesse Henry's actually fourth. And Gene Samper and Pichu London doing a little wall riding here. And now Sanford's in a ride. Well, actually, Sanford's not on the lead lap, but she's got Jessica Shelton on the inside and her buddy Dylan Young behind her. That is a battle for position. Shelton is running in 7th. Dylan Young is in 8th. Now Dylan Young battling with Pichu London in 22. Meantime, Kyle Matthews has got him all in his rearview mirror here, driving away in that 42 car. And he knows he's got 3 laps to go this time by. Kyle Matthews, number 42, Mellow Yellow Chevrolet. And the yellow flag is waved again. Trevor Reinhardt, I think he and I believe Trevor Reinhardt was the cause of the crash here. Trevor was running 19th when this happened. He got into it with Keith Batson in 28. And off the wall he goes. Charles Sanford is in it. Daniel Voiles. And Trent Dunham could not stop in time to keep from hitting Charles Sanford. But Trevor obviously got the worst end of the whole deal in that 3 car, the Brickyard 400 champ. And the man from Oregon pretty much drives away PO'd. And 3 of the cars coming down pit road. But the yellow and white flags have waved, so that means for the 2nd time this season, Kyle Matthews is going to be your winner, as Kyle will take home the title in the Visit Pensacola Snowball 500. And a dominating performance for the man from Ohio. He won the Goodwrench 400 at Rockingham, the 2nd race of the season. Dylan Poteet will come home 2nd today. 3rd will be Jesse Henry. 4th will be Kyle Austin. Marty Johnson, a tremendous performance in at 55. Will finish 5th. And there is the man, Kyle Matthews, the number 42 Mellow Yellow Chevrolet. Rounds to number 4. He will win the Super Snowball. He will win the Visit Pensacola Snowball 500. The number 42 Mellow Yellow Chevrolet, which that car will return next season. But the driver to be announced, I guess you might say too. Average speed 61.690 miles an hour. We gave it a top 5 already. 6 with a great comeback from mid-pack. Jessica Shelton finishes 6th. Dylan Young 7th. 8th, Dalton Day. 9th, Matt McIntyre. 10th, Joshua Osborne. Then comes Mike Becker, Quentin Moore, Mason Powers in 13th. Stephanie Dalton, Keith Batson, Jonathan Zorlin, and Daniel Voiles the top 20. And on down to Johnny Gardner in 28th in the race. And then 6 cars out of the race here. Trey Campbell with a crash. Seth Cole, Ryan Richards, John Arndt, Zed Weinstein, and Zach Flickinger all with a crash. Well, Lamas and Collard were multiple laps down from altercations that happened earlier in this race, but nonetheless, Kyle Matthews, big win here today in the Meliela Chevrolet number 42. And it all comes down to Miami, Homestead Miami Speedway, and just about safe to say Jessica Shelton, maybe your first ever 3-time champ of this series, maybe. Comment is going to pretty much have to depend on a win and a last place run from Shelton at Homestead for him to win the championship. But stranger things have happened in my series before, no question. Matthews is second to that solid win here. Mike Becker third, Cody Lamas fourth, Pichu London fifth in the points. Quentin Moore is now your leading rookie in my series now in the Castrol GTX Cup Series. This season, he is 6th. Dylan Poteet up to 7th in the points. Johnny Gardner 8th. Dougie Shears 9th. And Zach Flickinger is in 10th position. Despite 2 wins and Quentin Moore having no wins, but he's been a little bit more consistent over the later part of the season so far. Seth Cole currently 20th in the points chase as we go back to the other side of the field. Zed Weinstein now back to last in the points despite 2 wins for him. But as we head down to Homestead Miami Speedway in Homestead, Florida for the running of the Ford EcoBoost 400. Don't miss it.